That way, whatever people miss, they'll catch. So I'm doing an Insanity Max 30 group because I wanted to do one for so long. And right now is not like the perfect time in my life because I'm very pregnant, but the sell price is huge. Like originally this was $205 for this challenge pack, and I wanted to do it forever, and I had that mental block of like the price and just not being able to have enough people interested. But now that it's at $140, that's like so super cheap. Like I couldn't pass up doing the group this month. So I'm going to do the best that I can with doing the workouts myself. But this Insanity Max 30 group is open to the entire team. I haven't created the post. It's going to probably be pretty similar to my 21-day challenge as far as like recipes and daily posts and stuff like that. But so this group is going to be like a big group team-wide, whoever wants to do it. If coaches want to jump in and do the group too, I know a few coaches are wanting to purchase it, or they have the program, they want to do the challenge group too. That's fine, totally fine. So I'm excited about it. It'll start a prep week next Monday, which is May 9th. And then we'll begin day one on May 16th. And I decided I'm going to make it 30 days. It's a 60-day program. It's a month 1 and month 2, but my challenges are usually 21 days. They're short. I like revamping a group every month. That's my thing. So I don't really want to do a full 60-day group. I'm just going to do the 30 days. And so that's my plan for Max 30. And for all those people that want to keep going, as far as like my challengers, I'm going to convert them into doing my normal group I do every month, which is that 21-day challenge. And with me, what I do is any program that follows portion control, but they can do any fitness program they want. So all the new programs follow the 21-day fixed portion control, which makes it easy to really bring that into one group. So that's my plan. And I'm not sure what other leaders kind of plan to do after that. And even other leaders, if they want to extend and like do a 60-day group, that's fine too, or whatever you guys decide to do. But that's my plan, is just to do it for 30 days. And then at the same time, I'm going to do my normal challenge group I do every month. Okay. So one thing I wanted to touch base on really quick before we start talking about the social media stuff is something Brooke posted that she made just a really great, valid point, which was kind of us as coaches getting stuck in that mental block of like only recommending programs that we do. And truthfully, that's what I do. And I even say that on the webinar, but at the same time, I purchase every single new program that comes out. And even though I may not do a full challenge of it, like, the program maybe 30 days or maybe 60 days, I own the program. I can do every single workout, try it, sample it, give my opinion of it, look at the nutrition plan, tell you how it's different from 21-Day Fix. I know the program. So for me to say, I don't really recommend what I don't do. I do try every single new program. Now, P90X hasn't had anything come out in a while, so I don't ever talk about P90X because I've never previously done it. Now, if they came out with a brand new program, I would buy it because, as a coach, I want to be able to tell people about it. So maybe you're like, well, I don't want to make that investment in every single program knowing that it's something I probably won't like. That's why it's great to have the club membership, because the club membership means that you have on-demand access, and on-demand at least gives you a sample of every single workout. So say you're like, well, I'm not really into dancing and size is a promotion this month, and I don't want to talk about size because I don't want to get the program and I've never done it. Well, if you have the on-demand access, you have the club membership, you can actually go on and do the sample workout tryout size and talk about it, share with people, just like I did, Brooke did that really great post of how you can share talking about size just from doing that sample workout. So never feel like, because I have coaches say, well, I'm not doing that program, so I feel like I can't really talk about it. Never feel that way, because if you have the on-demand, you can always sample it yourself. You can always talk to other coaches, because maybe the 21-Day Fix, maybe you bought the 21-Day Fix, maybe that's not for everybody. Maybe they would rather do something like size, or maybe they're like me and they would rather have more high-intensity cardio. So the original 21-Day Fix, if you were talking to a challenger like me, the fitness stuff probably wouldn't really excite me because I like the go, go, go. I like Shaun T. I like the high intensity stuff. I like 21 Day Fix Extreme. I like Hammer and Chisel. Those are what I like. But if you only do 21 Day Fix and it's the only program you offer me, then I might go look somewhere else, you know? So don't get stuck in only offering what you are doing. Make sure you ask questions. And we talked about this in the last calls. Make sure you're asking questions of, you know, what's your goal? What do you struggle with? What is your fitness ability? Are you more of a beginner? Are you moderate? Are you advanced? Do you enjoy doing a lot of cardio? Would you prefer doing weightlifting? Find out what their needs are before automatically saying,
all that stuff.
Oh, I do the 21 Day Fix and it's so great, and and trying to promote that because that's what you do. So that was kind of Brooke's post that I shared on the team page, and just not to get yourself stuck in only recommending one program, because what happens is your followers eventually get bored of you only offering the exact same program every single month and never talking about anything different, the same thing over and over. So you lose interest of your followers, for one thing. And then for another thing, your existing challengers, maybe they're ready to move on, but you continue to still talk about and only do that same program, but they're like, okay, I'm ready to try something more intense and she only does this. So maybe I should go to somebody else, or maybe I should contact another coach. So don't let that happen. Make sure that you're staying on top of your game. And you know, it's kind of like technology. You got to move with technology. It's the same with coaching. You got to move with coaching. You got to stay up on the new programs. You got to have to be talking about the new programs. You have to be trying them out yourself. You know, don't be scared because you're not physically doing that full program. You can still talk about it. Okay. All right. So I talked enough about that. I just want to touch on that tonight because I think that's really important. I think a lot of coaches are losing followers, and they're losing their challengers too because they're only talking about one thing, and that one thing is what they're doing. So we want variety. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen here really quick. Get my slides. Huh? All right, guys, can you see my slides? Jennifer Hines, I can see your face. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see the slides? Sweet. Okay, let me get rid of myself and go to the slides. So I actually did a call on this back in fall, and it's going to be similar, but social media is always changing. So we're going to reiterate some of this stuff. There's a lot of new coaches on the team, so I feel like we really need to talk about all of this again. And there's new things that are happening on social media that we need to be talking about too. So social media, how to get seen. What I wanted to talk about first is creating interactions. How do you get your post in your Facebook's friends newsfeed? So a lot of times what people don't realize, and what I didn't realize starting out as a coach, is I thought, hey, anything I post, every single person I'm friends with, they're going to see it today. It's going to show up on their newsfeed. If they open up Facebook, it's going to be right there. They're going to see my post. That is so wrong, because what Facebook does is Facebook says, okay, this person only has this much time in their day to look at Facebook, and I want to make sure that the Facebook feed that I show them is going to keep them interested and keep them coming back to Facebook. So I want to show them posts of people that they interact with, people who I know are their friends, and people's posts that I know they care to see. So if you're not interacting, or you're not really talking to somebody on social media, or you haven't talked to them in a while, but they are your Facebook, seeing your Facebook post. So keep that in mind. It's very important to be creating interactions on Facebook, because that's what's going to allow Facebook to take your post and throw it into somebody else's news feed. So if I wasn't talking to, say, Jessica, if I wasn't talking to her at all, but I ended up going and I commented on a post, or I sent her a personal message, what I know is that my post is going to start showing up on her page, and her posts are going to start showing up on my page, because Facebook says, okay, these two are friends, they're creating interactions, I'm going to allow their posts to be seen on each other's pages. Okay, so Mind blown, right? I never knew that. All right, so how do we create interactions? Personal messages. How are you? Just creating some kind of conversation with that person. So that's why whenever you first start as a coach, I talk about doing personal invites with your warm market. And I think that's really important because even though they're a family member or a close friend or somebody you work with, you may not interact with them that much on social media. But if you send them a personal message, inviting them to learn more about what you do with the health and fitness, or just creating an interaction and starting a conversation and basically saying, how are you? That allows for your post to start popping up on their feed. So even if you're like, you know what, I'm not ready to invite them to a challenge just yet, then don't. Just send them a message saying, hey, how have you been? It's been a while since we've talked. And create that interaction. So you at least know that your post is now being pulled to their newsfeed, and you're going to start seeing theirs too. All right, so kind of jumping into creating some scroll stopping posts. So now that your posts are getting seen, we want to make sure that your posts are interesting. And when I talk about scroll stopping posts, I kind of talk about, finding that inner photographer in you. I feel like every post needs a picture. And if I want something to be seen, it's going to have a picture with it. And so that's usually the posts that are going to get the most interactions are ones that have pictures with it, typically. Not always, but typically. And when you're thinking about pictures, I want you to think about your lighting. I want you to think about having a smile on your face. I want you to think about just being in, an environment where, unless you're talking about your house being a mess, don't take a picture in front of your house being a mess. Try and find somewhere where it's going to give you a nice, clean image, and people are going to be zoned in on what you want them to see, and not everything that's sitting around you. So I have talked about this before a lot in training, and that's just, creating those scroll stopping pictures that cause people to want to stop and look at them. So it doesn't always have to be, your smiling face, because, one thing that I learned when I was a yearbook editor is like, those are the posts that people kind of look past. Those pictures they look past, but they want to find a picture that tells a story. So you don't always have to be looking at the camera. And I know we've talked about this before too, but just trying to find things when you sit and you scroll on Facebook, things that interest you and make you want to stop and read the post.
Yeah, at the heart of what we do, it's attraction marketing. So, that should always be in the back of your head. Is this an attractive post, before you actually post the picture?
I'm going to see if I can mute. Sorry, guys. I'm going to try and mute everybody's mic really quick. All right. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is don't sell, motivate, inspire. People just want to know that if you can do it, so can they. So, one of the things that I really, really, really try to do myself is, not create these salesy posts. I do challenge group call outs usually right around the challenge group time. I actually did one tonight, which is a workout video. And then I'm going to do one tomorrow where I'm doing another call out about my groups. And I'm just kind of going to talk to people about, for me, I'm pregnant right now, so I'm going to talk more about the nutritional aspect of my groups. And tomorrow's post is going to be kind of funny because it's going to be talking about being summer ready and swimsuit ready, which I absolutely will not be. I'll be very pregnant, so it should be an entertaining post. But, just trying to motivate and inspire people in what you're doing. And if you're talking about your workouts, don't just say, I got my workout done, I feel so much better. Like, add a little emotion to it and tell them, why you did this workout, what kind of challenges you had before doing this workout, how busy your day was, but you still made time to do the workout. Talk about the workout, how it made you feel. Like yesterday, I did a post of just being on this high of, before I started my workout, I didn't want to do it. But as I got into the workout, I started to feel better. And then when I was done, my energy was there. And before I started, I felt like a slug. I felt like just sitting on the couch and doing nothing. But I did my workout, and then afterwards I was outside cutting bushes. I was running around with Reese. I was being this active mom, which is what so many people want. They want energy. They want to go outside and play with their kids. They don't want to feel like they want to sit on the couch. So that was my post yesterday, was just to show people, to motivate them. Hey, you do 30 minutes of exercise a day, you can feel so much better. Yes, it's rough to tell yourself, okay, go downstairs, hit play, work out. And you can always make excuses, but I wanted to make a point. By the end of it, I felt so much better. I felt energized, and I felt like a better mom. So, really post why you're choosing to do your workout, and don't just post, I did a workout, I feel good. All right, so Chris is really good about this one. He does a lot of overnight polls where he asks questions. And it doesn't need to be Beachbody related. Actually, I think his are very rarely Beachbody related. However, I have seen a few good Beachbody related. I actually had a newer coach ask her friends A, B, or C question, and it was, what do you feel like you struggle with the most? A, nutrition. B, knowing what's healthy. C, working out. Or D, motivation, so she kind of gave these options, and that was really neat. I thought that was a really good post because that created interaction, and it gave her the opportunity to message those people and kind of talk about what their struggles are. But other great overnight polls that you can do pretty frequently. This is obviously I did these slides around Christmas time because I was talking about doing Elf on the Shelf and just asking people, not only an overnight poll, but just asking them for their opinion. And, Chris always says,
people love to give their opinion.
Yeah, and they really do.
And, and this, it's twofold. They're going to interact on your post, but then also when they interact on your post, that's going to show tell Facebook and the algorithms that they want to, that they want to see more of your stuff. So, these are kind of twofold, when you post these polls like this.
Yeah. So again, you're creating interaction. And then the other thing, not only are you creating interaction, are they seeing your post and they're commenting on it. And so your Facebook feed's showing up. But what also I will do is I will even go back and respond, because I want this. You guys notice on our team page or in a challenge group, whenever you go to a post and you comment on it, what happens? The post is brought back up in the newsfeed to the top. It happens to the exact same thing. This exact same thing will happen when you're on your regular newsfeed. So if somebody goes and they comment on your post, it brings your post back up to the top of somebody else's newsfeed. So we kind of played with this before, and so has Brooke and Jason, and they've taken posts and we've commented on that maybe we did months ago, and we did a comment on it, and it brought it back up into people's newsfeed, and then all of a sudden people started commenting on it again. So anytime you do create a post, you want a lot of interaction. So the more that Facebook sees you have a post that's getting a lot of interaction, a lot of comments, the more they're going to bring it back up into the newsfeed, the more it's going to get seen. So when we have a post, we're like, man, we really want this to get seen by a lot of people, like something about our webinar, or something about coaching, something where, our income video where we've talked about the coaching opportunity and the blessings that it's given us. We really wanted to make sure that was staying on Facebook and people were seeing that. So if somebody would comment, even if it was a coach or a challenger, we would go back and reply. And anytime somebody would say something, even if it was just a thank you, or, even if it was just something minor, it was causing it to be brought back up into the newsfeed. So always respond with a comment. If somebody is commenting on your post about a challenge group call out and they say, oh, you look amazing. Well, don't just hit like, go back and comment and say thank you. Because again, that continues to bring it back up in the feed. Or you can also respond with a personal message. This gives you the opportunity to reconnect by using that post. So, for example, when I posted about Elf on the Shelf, I asked people for ideals of, with what I can do with the elf, and, you know, for them to give me things that they may have done that was really creative in their home. And so if they would comment and give me an ideal, instead of hitting like or even going and commenting, I would personally message them and say, you know, hey, I seen your comment on my Elf on the Shelf post. You know, do you find yourself often forgetting to move the elf? Laugh out loud, I'm going crazy over here trying to stay on top of it. Thanks for the ideal. You know, so yeah, that seems like nothing, that has nothing to do with health and fitness or Beachbody, which is totally okay, because it doesn't always have to do with, you know, your objective of wanting to do a challenge group. It's just talking to somebody, because creating relationships is what this business is about. So again, you're creating an interaction with them, you're reconnecting with that person, and you know that now your posts are going to show up in their newsfeed more often, and vice versa with theirs. So even if that message goes nowhere, or they message you back saying, oh, you're welcome, and it's a dead end, then you still know that you've created interaction, and your post is going to be seen in their newsfeed, and again, vice versa. Okay, transformation post, thanking others for their support in a personal message. We've talked about this multiple times. I actually offer this as the tip of the day. And if you guys go and you search photos on our team page, and you see that photo up in the upper left-hand corner that says tip of the day, if you search that photo, you're going to find this script right there. So basically, it is reaching out, reconnecting with those people, and just thanking them for taking the time to even hit just like or comment. So they didn't necessarily have to comment. They could have just hit like. So you reach out to that person and send them a message. And so I kind of have two things that I have to send to those people. And it's, hey, I just wanted to send you a quick message and thank you for liking my photo. I know it sounds really silly, but putting myself out there to be judged in a brand new business can be intimidating at times, but people like you make it worth it. So thank you for your support. I know it only took 1 second of your time, but it made a huge impact for me. If I can help you in any way or give you advice, please feel free to reach out. So I think that's so genuine and that's so kind. And I actually got this tip from Chelsea Pearson. She talked about it on the National Wake Up Call. That is her exact script. And I love it, because I think that really shows you being genuine and compassionate to somebody else just for them simply hitting the like button. You know, and then I also said, or you can even add an invite for them to learn more about, depending on what your post was about, by simply saying, hey, thanks for the like on my fitness post. I really appreciate having the support of my friends and family. It makes sharing my journey online that much easier. At times it can be hard to be so open about my journey, but I do it in hopes to help others get started. I wasn't sure if your like on the post was because you liked my picture, or if you may want to know more about what I'm doing. Either way, I would be happy to share more with you. So, you know, depending on the situation, the person, your comfort level, you can really take that, those scripts either way. But as long as you're sending them a message, you're creating interaction, again, that's helping your post show up on their page and vice versa. And you're also building that relationship and opening up that communication in a very, very super non-salesy way, and just being a great, awesome, amazing coach. In my opinion, these two scripts are golden. Mm-hmm. All right, so comment on others' posts, create an interaction by doing that, and they will see your post. So we kind of already talked about that a little bit. You know, when you see somebody else's post in the newsfeed, even if it has nothing to do with health and fitness, it's just something about, you know, their kid had a dance recital, or, you know, they graduated college, go on there and comment on their post and say, congratulations. Even if it's somebody that you haven't talked to in like 10 years, say, you know, oh my gosh, I can't believe you got your master's degree. Congratulations. And, you know, just write something, because again, you're creating an interaction, which allows your post to be seen on their page and vice versa. So I feel like I'm a broken record saying that, but I just want you guys to get the point that you don't want to just hit like. So you want to go in, you want to comment, you want to create an interaction. And
you could rekindle, you know, a relationship from 10 years ago and have a further conversation later on.
And what I used to do when I first started, and it's funny because one of my coaches, she even kind of noticed I did this and didn't know what I was kind of doing until we got talking about it. But I would go in a couple weeks, I would make a list of people I wanted to invite to a challenge group. And a couple weeks before, I would go and I would start looking at their posts, and I would create actually a a list. You can create a list of people on Facebook. If anybody wants to know how to do that, I have a YouTube video telling you how to do it. It's amazing. I actually have all my personally sponsored coaches in a list so I can sit and look at your guys' newsfeed without trying to look at everybody's newsfeed, because I do not Facebook scroll. I do not have time for that. I can put my family in a newsfeed so I can see my family's post. So it's a list that you can generate. So I would go and I would write a list of people that I wanted to invite to a challenge group. And 2 weeks before, I would go ahead and put them into a list on Facebook. So when I clicked that, I put it into my favorites and say I clicked potential challengers and I clicked that, it would show me only their newsfeed. So I can go through their newsfeed and see what can I interact on, what can I comment on. So I'm creating some kind of interaction and kind of rekindling that connection between us. So when I do send them a message, it's not, so awkward. And so that's what I did. And that's what I did with one of my coaches. And she started to see my posts in her newsfeed, which was really cool. And then she also, when we got to talking, it was so much easier to start conversation because I had seen her post for the last couple of weeks. I knew what was going on with her life. I was able to say, hey, I seen you just went on vacation and you had that cocktail at such and such. It looked amazing. And, I could sit there and kind of make a conversation from that. All right, this is an easy one, square pictures. Square pictures are more attractive to Facebook. Facebook likes square pictures. They will allow square pictures to be shown on more news feeds because it's attractive. I don't know why, but that's something that I learned a while back. But I see a lot of coaches doing just regular photos or doing really oddly shaped photos. So square pictures is what I suggest because Facebook likes those.
And that's on the iPhone. If you scroll over at the bottom, you can scroll and it says square, for those of y'all
that can't see us.
That don't really know what that is, I know. But it's a type of picture that you can scroll for, on your photo app.
And most apps most apps have it.
Yeah.
Instagram.
As an option.
I love Instagram fillers, so I use Instagram a lot for their filters. And Rana has it. Most apps do. And then I do tell coaches to avoid collage pictures. What you all may not understand is that you want to go in and you want to do, first of all, you may want to post 2 pictures at the same time. Okay, Facebook doesn't like that. They won't allow that to be seen by as many people. It's better to just do one solid organic picture. Facebook loves organic posts. So if they see you have one picture, then they're going to allow that to be seen in more people's newsfeed. Now, if you put in multiple pictures, then they don't find that as attractive and they don't allow that to be seen as much. Now, I think that it's better if you do pick, play, post and you collage pictures that way. I don't do that often. I try to, if I can, I really try to stick to one picture, but sometimes it's really hard. So I do the collage pictures, but, I think the collage pictures on Pick, Play, Post is much better than going in and posting like an entire album or posting 2 pictures. It's better to just do one or try to use an app to collage them together. What Facebook also doesn't like is seeing these frames around pictures. I see a lot of coaches trying to do these, use these apps with frames and write a lot of text on them. It's really busy, first of all, for your follower and not as attractive as if it was just one single image. So I do suggest if you do a lot of frames or you do a lot of pictures with text on it, to really cut that down to maybe 20% of your posts for the week to be with a frame on it or with text on it. Actually, the only time I think I only do text, I think, for call outs. I try to really limit my text on my pictures if I can. Because again, Facebook favors just an organic post, just a picture. And I know that more people will probably see it if that's how I do it. Plus it looks more attractive too.
And your picture will tell the story. You don't necessarily have to have words on it to tell the story. Your picture should tell the story.
Okay. So pick, play, post. I see coaches do this. They'll take pick, play, post and they'll upload to Facebook from pick, play, post, and it puts a really weird box on it. which causes people to have to click and it redirects them. So you don't want to do that. You want to save pick, play, post videos to your camera roll and then upload it from your camera roll to Facebook or to Instagram, wherever it's going to. So that's one really easy tip. But I do see it happen a lot where coaches are uploading straight from pick, play, post, and then their post has this really funky box on it. And Facebook doesn't like that. They're not going to allow that to be seen in your news feed by everybody. Sharing from Instagram. I see a lot of coaches that will share from Instagram, which is totally fine, but know that when you share from Instagram, it automatically sets your post to private. So even if you have a public page, you do have to go in and change that setting, because I don't know why, but Instagram automatically sets all your posts to private. So make sure that you go back and you change that setting. And speaking of public pages, if you want to move out of your warm market, you've got to have a public page. And I fought this myself for a while, and I actually kind of went back and forth. I still do go back and forth, and I talk about this in training, and I've talked about it before with Reese. I share my post public and private. So my whole entire Facebook page is public. But when I do a post of Reese, say maybe having a cute outfit on, or having a dance recital, or her first day of preschool, I can take that post and I can change it to friends only, because it has nothing to do with my business. I don't think that my followers should have to know what's going on with my kids, and that's where my comfort level is at. So if we're doing a recipe, we're doing a workout, or we're having something that's related to the business side of Beachbody, then yes, I make it a public post. And that's where my comfort level is at with that. Because for me, my market is really people who want to get healthy with their families. So I want to show that that's what I do. I involve my little girl. So Brooke actually did a video on how to make sure your page is set to public, but the upper right-hand corner, if you're on a desktop, you can go to settings and then click privacy, and that's where you can change those. And then there's another one that I didn't realize I didn't have clicked. There's another one called followers, and that's where your followers can like or comment on your post. So say you're wanting to attract people that you're not friends with, or you're wanting people that aren't friends with you to see your posts or be able to comment on them. If they say they see a challenge group call out and they want to do it, and you want them to be able to say, hey, I want to do your group, you have to make sure you change the followers setting to, I think it's to everyone. But I recently just changed that myself because I didn't realize I didn't have it clicked. But now I do, and I'm starting to notice that people like my posts and I'm not friends with, or people comment on my posts and I'm not friends with. And so I've made a lot of new connections that way. All right, so this shows you if you are wanting to go back and forth like I said I do, this is how you can do it from your mobile device on Facebook. So when you click status, that left-hand picture shows you public. You can click that little arrow and you can change it to friends, accept acquaintances, friends accept, or only me, blah, blah, blah. So you can change it to whatever you want. So I go back and forth between public and friends depending on what my post is with Reese. All right, time of day to post. You want to avoid weekends, late nights, and early mornings. I tell coaches the best time to post, you got to think, is when are people on social media. If you're doing an incredible, great post at 12:30 at night on a Saturday night, that's like not a good idea, because people are usually out doing things. Even if it's not on a Saturday night, people are in bed. So I usually typically like to do lunchtime, and I really like to do evening. So if I really want something to be seen, I choose an evening time, Sunday through Thursday. Okay, I don't do weekends. I don't do Friday nights. I don't do, not that I don't post, I still post, but if it's a challenge group call out, a coach call out, talking about our webinar, a really awesome post that I really want everybody to see, I'm going to avoid the weekends and really late nights or early mornings. All right, like pages. I want to talk about like pages because so many coaches, they just don't get them. They think that they can open a like page and that everybody's going to see their post. Facebook wants you to pay for your like page. I call these advertisement pages. So if you're willing to pay for ads, they're great. And they're also a great way to talk to people. So when I first got started, it did help me kind of refer people to my like page so I created an interaction that way, telling them that I was sharing about health and fitness over there, and that I had recipes I was going to post each week, and I appreciated their support if they wanted to check it out. So that was a really great way to create interactions. But what I knew is if they liked my page, they weren't going to see the post on there, because even though they like the page, I like so many pages, guys, and I don't see anybody's post. And I like a lot of your all's coach pages. I don't see any of your posts, 0 of them. Unless you're paying for me to see them, you're paying for ads. And I will tell you guys, ads, I've done them for about a year. My income has allowed me to at least spend about $100 a month. Last month I spent $100. I got nothing out of an ad, nothing. So they're very hit or miss. That's why I don't really teach those to the team, because really I'm still learning them. Brooke's still learning them. Facebook changes how they do things quite frequently. So ads are really hard to get down. Now, some of our diamonds on the team are doing ads, some of our other leaders, but they'll tell you too, they're very hit or miss. They may have a few more likes on their page, which does bring, new people to their page, but it doesn't mean they got a challenge group sell or that they got a new coach from it or anything like that. So know that I don't recommend a like page unless you're like me and you post a lot of stuff. And I do. I have a lot of posts. I have a lot of ideas in my head. Really, if I post everything onto my personal page, I would be posting too much. So I'm able to spread out, do 3 posts a day on my personal page, and I usually do anywhere from 1 to 3 posts on my like page. And that's just because I have a lot of ideals in my head. But most coaches tell me, well, I just don't know what to post. You are definitely not one that should have a like page, because you don't want to be double posting the same stuff. And it's not getting seen. Your personal page is where it is at. All right, we're almost to the end and I'm almost out of time. So Facebook Live, this is a brand new feature. It's your #1 way to get a video seen. It is awesome, guys. Do Facebook Live videos. However, do not jump on a Facebook Live video and not know what you're going to say. So write down, make notes, know your topic, what you want to talk about. It's a really cool feature on Facebook where people can actually hop on, see you live, ask you questions. And Facebook loves when you do Facebook Live. It's a new feature, so they favor it and they show it in everybody's newsfeed. Have you noticed when I do a live video or another coach does a live video or somebody else you may be following, you always see it and it gives you a notification, hey, Danielle Lichtai is doing a Facebook Live video on our personal page about, and so that feature is really cool. Then if you're running challenge groups, you can also do live videos in your challenge groups. If you have an event page you have going for, say, doing a free clean eating group, you can even do a live video within that event page. And of course, you can do them on your personal pages. So Facebook Live is awesome. Don't be scared of it. Do them if you want to get seen. I know Jessica does them very often. She'll do her workouts, and every single time she's doing a workout and I hop on Facebook, she's the first thing I see every single time. That's because it's a live video. Facebook favors it. All right, guys. So if you want to learn more about social media, there is more information in the album section of our team page. It is just a huge resource for coaching information. And let me see if I can try and stop sharing screen. We don't have much time left, but I'm going to unmute everybody. Does anybody have any questions? And you know what? What I'm going to actually do is right after this call, I'm going to get on our team page live, because you can also do that. And again, you can do it in groups. And I'm just going to wait a few minutes and see if you guys have any questions, because I know sometimes people hate to talk on the Zoom. It's kind of like you're on the spot. So when you do live, it's nice so you guys can just type the message. What were you going to say?
You're on the spot when you do a live video too, so you get used to it.
I was going to tell you this is perfect, and I would